Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Tuesday, January 5th. Before getting today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. Yesterday, we ended up giving out a look-ahead line on one of the upcoming NFL wildcard weekend matchups between the Rams and the Seahawks. So we have a play on that. If you have not checked the video, you can do so. It should be through the video right before this one. Before today's play of the day, we're going to be looking at a college basketball matchup taking place in the early afternoon here at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be between Toledo and Kent State. And for this matchup here, we like a total. It's going to be on the over 144.5. It's available on BetMGM at minus 115. Time recording of 2:25 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like the over in this spot. First of all, BetMGM is giving you a great number. It's currently available at 144.5 to the over. However, if you look at the rest of the market, most available around 145.5, 146, even a couple of 146.5s available offshore. So you have seen a lot of line movement towards the over. And I do think you will see more line movement coming in on the over before opening tip. This line should probably close at around 148 or so. So I do think at 144.5, you are getting a pretty solid price. A couple reasons why money has come in on the over. First of all, Kent State has been very solid offensively. They're averaging 77.6 points per game. Toledo's also not that far behind offensively, as they are averaging 74.8 points per game. So both teams have the ability to light up a score sheet, and I do think that both teams should be able to do so in this matchup. Now, looking at Kent State, they also love to play at a pretty fast pace. They rank 110th and adjusted offensive tempo according to KenPom rankings. So I do think they'll be able to force both sides into some transition opportunities, which should lead to some odd man rushes and a lot of short possessions, as both teams should be able to find open looks relatively quickly. But also looking at some trends for this matchup here, if you want to look at Toledo, 4 of their last 5 road games have gone over. At the same point, you look at Kent State, 5 of their last 6 home games have gone over. So I do think that based on recent performances in this environment, you should see a decent amount of points. Plus, if you want to break it down, this spread is also very close. Toledo was originally -1, then Kent State ended up moving all the way to a -1.5. But since the spread is so close, you could assume this game will be very close to down to the wire. And I do think that should lead to more free throw attempts and more scramble opportunities. Plus, you also have the potential overtime draw, of course. So I do think that this total is a bit too low. But looking at some other things that I do like, I like how both teams have multiple scores. You look at Kent State, they have 3 people averaging at least 11 points per game. You have Mike Nuga, who's averaging 18 points per game. You have Danny Pippen, who's averaging 16.8 points per game. And you also have Justin Hamilton, who's averaging 11.6 points per game. But both teams, one thing I do like is the fact that both teams are pretty good at the foul line. Kent State is shooting roughly 69% from the foul line, whereas Toledo is shooting in the 70s. So I do think that even if both teams are forced to make some shots at the foul line, I do think they'll be able to do so, as both teams have been pretty solid at the foul line so far this season. But I also like how Toledo, I mentioned how, first of all, specifically, Toledo shooting 77.8% from the foul line, which is absolutely insane. But looking at the Kent State team that I talked about, that has 3 separate scores of 11-plus points per game. Toledo has 4 separate scorers who are averaging 11-plus points per game. So I do like the depth that's available on both teams' rosters when it comes to scoring. And I do think this game should probably get into the high 140s to low 150s. So I do think both teams have a serious chance to score at least 73 points in this game. So the play of the day, once again here for Tuesday, January 5th, is going to be on Toledo and Kent State over the 144.5, which is available on BetMGM at minus 115. That's been Installment Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective best today. Bye, everyone.